my name is Sweelan Reno. I'm a program assistant for this year's cohort of the Advisors Academy. And the first word that comes to mind to describe this week, I definitely say is insightful.
One word to describe my first week is probably informative.
I would use the word captivating to describe the past week.
One word to describe my first week is probably introspective.
One word to describe my first week is motivational.
If I had to describe the first week in one word, I would definitely have to say encouraging.
One word to describe my first week is impactful.
Some key things I have learned and I will take away from the program so far is attitudes for success. I definitely appreciate Ryan taking his time to discuss those things with us, and even going into him as a person and challenges that he would have faced. I appreciate the mantras and using it not just for the work but life in general, and professional note making versus note taking. Definitely something that I didn't really give much thought to, and there is a difference. And digitally organizing my files. Sometimes I get really meticulous with the stuff that I do, but it becomes fun and I enjoy organizing and making lists. So I've been enjoying digitally organizing my files, the tidbits that he has given us thus far.
So far in the program, I think I've learned how important having a structure or method of doing things is, and how that could really aid you in your career and in your life. Just having a certain way of doing things and having it structured and organized, how valuable that could be.
One of the main things that I've learned so far is that success is a process, and the major thing standing in my way is myself.
A few key things I've learned so far in the first week of this program. Some technical skills, specifically note making, which I think would be very useful for me in the future, and as well as having a proper system to organize my files, which has already been very useful for me in terms of being a more organized, efficient person. But aside from the technical skills, I think a huge thing that we consistently keep coming back to is just the importance of positive attitude, whether that's in your personal life or in the working world. And I think it's so important to have positive attitudes towards yourself and also towards success.
A major takeaway from this program is that even though it is difficult to get into the environmental sector within the first few years of your career, through curiosity, motivation, and resilience, it is possible.
My key takeaways thus far would definitely have to be the advisor's next door note-making method. As before, my note-making method would have been very cluttered and very haphazard. But using this method moving forward, I think I'll definitely organize my note-making better. And we actually got to attend a webinar for World Oceans Day where I got to use this method firsthand, and it was definitely more efficient than my previous method. Also, I learned how to organize my files and my folders in my laptop properly so that they can be found efficiently, as well as in the event that I need them in the future, they can also be found and organized in a proper manner.
Some key things that I learned from just these 5 days were professional note-taking and file organizing skills, which are really basic things that I realized that I needed. Also, I learned about attitudes to success and developing myself holistically, thinking about different aspects like my relationships with other people. We also learned a lot about the environmental sector.
So what has it been like working with my little sister Ashrita? She is definitely wise. So we did our personality test and we discussed it. And one thing majorly different between us would be that she's extroverted and I'm more introverted. And she has good energy. She has really good advice. She's very confident. She's very outspoken. I feel like I can learn so much from her. I appreciate that we are buddies. We have so much in common. I appreciate the conversations that we've had so far between us and between and amongst the rest of the cohort, our peers. I'm really excited to see the conversations that we continue to have throughout the program and even developing a relationship beyond this. And she's really been impactful already in just 1 week in my life, and I hope I've been able to be impactful in hers.
So far, I've really enjoyed working with my little sister because her opinions are different of how I would view things sometimes, and it's really good to get that differing opinion and see things from her perspective.
Working with my partner has been a really enlightening experience as I get to learn his perspective on different ideas, which helps to improve my own understanding of them.
So far, probably my favorite part of the whole program is having discussions with my buddy Kabir and just working alongside him. I think aside from just collaborating on work assignments, a lot of times our conversations go a lot deeper than that into just our personal lives and personal development. And, it feels like a very authentic connection to just share those things as we both go through this process. And I feel like I could learn a lot from him.
Working with my bigger sister has been amazing. Even though we were paired at random, we had so much in common. Collaborating with her has been a breeze, and I truly enjoy conversing with her, both formally and informally.
Working with Charlotte thus far has been a really enjoyable experience. Not only do we share similar passions in terms of career goals, but we also share very similar personalities, and this has made the past week very enjoyable and a very seamless experience, as it feels like I know her for years. But moving forward, she's a very encouraging and very passionate person about the sector, and she always encourages me to do my best every day. So I really do look forward to working with her and learning as much as I possibly can from her and getting to know her a lot better.
Working with my big sister, it helps me to get to know more about her and about myself. And that process in itself gives me advice for my future. Also, working with her really motivates me to get things done. And it adds an element of fun because we get to do things together and bond.
My thoughts on the program structure thus far has been great. I really love the content so far as well, and the content upcoming. I feel as though it's goodies in a little snack bag or goodie bag, and I can't wait to just rip it open and just delve in. But as far as the structure goes, I really do appreciate how we started off this week, setting the tone, setting the foundation. Again, attitudes to success, just using that and now delving into the hard-hitting, heavy-hitting research and stuff like that. I really think that was really well thought out, and I appreciate it very much.
I also really like how the program is structured and organized because you're learning the basics and how to apply these basics, these basic skills, and how that could help you be more efficient and more clear in your doing of things.
I really like the structure of the program as it makes it easy for me to internalize all of the information that we're being taught.
I think the overall program structure seems very practical. I feel like each day, everything we talk about is kind of leading to the next. So it feels very well organized, as well as just in terms of the assignments too. We're able to kind of practice and give more thoughts about what we had just discussed in these sessions during the day. And especially the reflections at the end of the day, I think those are very insightful to just kind of get your mind thinking of so recap of what really went on for the day and reflect on all the information we learned, because all these sessions have been very fruitful.
The structure of this program seems to be very well thought out. Not only are we learning about personal development skills in all capacities of our lives, but also about the environmental sector in Trinidad and Tobago. Assignments involve both individual and collaborative work, along with commendations or constructive criticism, giving us the perfect framework for success.
I've really come to enjoy the program structure a lot, since personally the morning sessions have been really enjoyable in the sense that when a person shares their quote for the day, it allows me to have something to guide me through the day. So I think that's a very nice aspect of the structure of the program. Also, I like that we get to meet our buddies after the morning session so that we can discuss what we learned and we have to work on the assignment for the evening. Now, the assignment has been very beneficial since it allows us to, put into practice what we have learned in the morning session. And finally, the reflection has been a very important tool to me since it allows me to look back and self-reflect into what I've learned throughout the day and help me to re-emphasize what I've learned moving forward into the next day.
I really love the program structure because it teaches a foundation of holistic development about yourself, your personal and professional development. And this lays a strong foundation with developing further our technical skills and knowledge which we will learn in the coming weeks. Also, the amount of interaction is truly inspiring. I get to learn about different perspectives and make connections that I didn't think of before because we share our experiences.
So working with Ryan thus far has been really impactful. I would say that one word that describes him for me for this week in particular would be that he's very transparent. He doesn't sugarcoat anything, he doesn't beat around the bush, he tells it like it is in terms of like navigating the environmental sector, the challenges that we would come upon and challenges he even faced when he was now coming up. And I do appreciate that he spends time telling us like stories and it's like a booster, a confidence booster. It's like he was once there where we are now in like where he was. So I do really appreciate that he tells us these stories. He's very articulate in explaining himself, and I can't wait to like hear more stories, and I hope there are more stories in the upcoming weeks.
I've really enjoyed working with Ryan so far. You could clearly tell how passionate he is about what he does and how he genuinely cares about what he's doing and the impact he's having on us, and it's been really amazing so far.
Working with Ryan has been really great. He is very straightforward, which makes it easy to talk to him, and I really respect how passionate he is about what he does.
I definitely feel very grateful to be working alongside Ryan. He seems extremely experienced in the sector, but aside from that aspect of it, I really admire that as busy as he is, and I know he's probably an extremely busy person, he really takes the time to genuinely be present in all of our sessions, and not just be present but genuinely care and ask questions and really try to get to know all of us, which I really appreciate. He's really created this kind of comfortable environment, and we've only been there for a week and I already feel like everyone feels very comfortable, and a huge part of that is because of the tone that he set for this environment. But I think he has a lot of insightful information and stories that we've already been learning a lot from. So I feel really good about working with him, and lucky that I get the chance to gain from his experience.
Working with Ryan is an absolute blast. His stories serve not only as lessons but as motivation to put you into a can-do attitude. Ryan and I had a similar score on a personality test, so it was nice for me to get a glimpse into my future. So now I definitely can't complain about working with him. I genuinely couldn't ask for a better teacher.
Working with Ryan has been absolutely amazing. Not only does he share a lot of passion for the sector like we do, but the amount of information and the amount of experience he has in the sector, I just want to keep listening to his stories and keep absorbing as much information as possible I can from him. He's a very kind and passionate individual, and the way he interacts with us on a one-to-one basis, a personal basis, not even during the sessions, but after the sessions, the amount of passion and encouragement he gives us is very, very much appreciated. And I do look forward to working and learning from him in the future.
Working with Ryan is so exciting every day because I get to learn about a lot, so much. He has such a wealth of knowledge and information on the environmental sector, and his stories are truly inspiring. And not only that, but he speaks to us on the same level, and we get to learn about his perspectives and he learns about ours. And this exchange of information really broadens my horizon and makes me more excited to enter the environmental sector.